As we round up this night of tribute, let it be known to all men that life is an inexplicable pattern of mystery, where no man knows when he was born and when he will die. And this notorious fact is deeply rooted in the fact that every man is created by God with his works, and the talents are the guides. For no man can grow above or beyond his destiny. For every man's destiny has a relationship with God. So let it be with Ifeanyi Ubah. Let it be with the Nnewi-born politician. Let it be with our brother. Let it be with the great philanthropist, the great leader, the motivator. Let it be the lover of mankind and citizen of humanity. May his soul rest in peace. And to you, the Ubahs, madam, and your lovely children particularly, I have not died before, and I don't intend to die soon. But let me say something, that I do know that the Ikemba Ojukus, the Kwemes, and these great leaders of note who have left us, since the spirit never dies, I'm sure, they are having meetings somewhere. And I can only imagine what kind of meeting is saying. And their meeting is Ndibo. And Ndibo, hear me, what is the likely thing these leaders are discussing now, including the youngest of them all, Ifeanyi Ubah. The question they're asking, Igbos, why do you play the politics of hate? Why do you hate one another? Ojukwu recalled his quarrels with Ekweme, and now they say it is vanity. Iwanyanwu recalled his quarrels with Enwerem, now they are in one place. And so, they are asking Igbos, may you embrace peace. Another thing that happened that is common with these great men is that before the death of Iwanyanwu made a plea to Federal Republic of Nigeria. SDF went to Villa and begged Nigerian nation. Ifeanyi Ubah made a statement in the same line. I want to say to you, my brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Senate President, convey this one message on behalf of these Igbos who are seated, that the best way to honor this great young man is the release of Nnamdi Kanu. So that the Igbos can go home and reorganize their place. And I know you, Senator Akpabio, that even if you don't want to do it, send this message. For the sake of your wife, who is our daughter, send this message and get us a result. Or else, your wife is not too far from taking back home. Your Excellency, Mr. President, we are particularly happy that you are always coming to associate yourself with things like this. Nigeria still remains very grateful. Thank you, and God bless all of you. My people, my people.
The former governor of Imo State, Senator Rochas Okorocha, has urged the federal government of Nigeria to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, as the best way to honor the late Senator Ifeanyi Ubah. Rochas Okorocha made the call during a night of tribute held in Ifeanyi Ubah's honor on Monday at the Nigerian Air Force Conference and Suits, Abuja. In his tribute, he referenced Ifeanyi Ubah's plea to the Nigerian government, which he said mirrored a similar request by the late President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo worldwide, Emmanuel Iwanyanwu. Before the death of Emmanuel Iwanyanwu, he made a plea to the federal government of Nigeria. Ifeanyi Ubah made a statement in the same line Rochas Okorocha said, calling on Senate President Godswill Akpabio to convey the message to the government. I want to say to you, my brother, Senate President, convey this message on behalf of these Igbos who are seated that the best way to honor these great young men is the release of Nnamdi Kanu so that the Igbos can go home and reunite their place. Rochas Okorocha further expressed his concern for the Igbo community's division, urging the people of the region to embrace peace and put aside political differences. Reflecting on the legacy of the late Igbo leaders, he said, I have not died before and I don't intend to die soon, but I do know that the Ikemba Ojukwu, the Kwemes, and these great leaders of note who have left us, since the spirit never dies, I am sure they are having a meeting somewhere. I can only imagine what kind of meeting it is. Their meeting is about Ndibo, and Ndibo, hear me, what is the likely things these leaders are discussing now, including the youngest of them, Ifan Yoba. The question they are asking is, Igbos, why do you play the politics of hate? Why do you hate one another? He added that even those who once disagreed, such as Ojukwu and Ekwueme, were now reconciled in the afterlife, urging the living to follow their example. Ojukwu recalls his quarrels with Ekwueme, and now they say it is vanity. Iwanyanwu recalls his quarrel with Ekweremadu, and now they are in one place, and so they are asking Igbos to embrace peace, Rochas Okorocha stated. The night of tribute brought together notable political figures as well as friends and family of the deceased. Some of those in attendance include former President Goodluck Jonathan, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, former President of the Senate Anyim Pius Anyim, and Bukola Saraki, among numerous others. Ifan Yoba, who was a senator representing Anambra South Senatorial District in the National Assembly, died in London in July at the age of 52 years old. The businessman turned politician would have been 53 years old on September 3rd, 2024. Ifan Yoba will be laid to rest on Friday, November 22nd, 2024. However, Cubana chief priest has backed Rochas Okorocha's call on Nnamdi Kanu's release. The businessman and socialite Pascal Okechukwu, popularly known as Cubana chief priest, has expressed his support for former Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha's call for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra (IPOB). In a post on Instagram on Tuesday, Cubana chief priest shared a video of Rochas Okorocha's tribute to late Senator Ifan Yoba, where the former governor of Imo State urged the Nigerian government, headed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to free Nnamdi Kanu as the best way to honor Ifan Yoba. Cubana chief priest stated that Nnamdi Kanu's release would promote peace and unity in the southeastern region of Nigeria. Tagging Senate President Godswill Akpabio in his post, he wrote, "Those pleas from Owele Ndibo are all we ask for our dear in-laws. Let Ohamadike Ndibo, Nnamdi Kanu, come back home soon." He added that Nnamdi Kanu's detention had negatively affected the Igbo people, particularly in terms of access to their hometowns and the instability in the southeast. It has been almost 5 years now. We still cannot access our hometown. Only his release can restore peace to our region, he wrote. We have lost many lives and properties. We need to rebuild the southeast ASAP. Make una help also. It was earlier reported that during his tribute to Ifeanyi Uba, Rochas Okorocha urged the Nigerian government to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and appealed to Senate President Godswill Akpabio to convey the message on behalf of the Igbos to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Since Nnamdi Kanu's arrest and detention in June 2021, Ohaneze Ndị Igbo worldwide and his supporters have repeatedly called for his release. Also, former Anambra State governorship aspirant Chief Ike Oligbo has made a passionate appeal to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration for the immediate release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra (IPOB), who has been in detention since 2021. In a statement issued to journalists in Awka on Tuesday, Oligbo said the call comes as Nigeria grapples with widespread economic hardship and growing insecurity, particularly in the southeast region of the country. He highlighted the potential dangers of Nnamdi Kanu's prolonged detention, warning that it could further destabilize the country. He emphasized that the southeastern region often feels marginalized in the Nigerian political structure, and keeping Nnamdi Kanu in detention only deepens feelings of bitterness and annihilation among the youth. The continued detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu serves no purpose other than to foment resentment and anger, particularly among the younger generation in eastern Nigeria, Oligbo stated. The federal government must rise above intimidation and call the bluff of those issuing threats over Nnamdi Kanu's release. Justice demands fairness, and the charges against Nnamdi Kanu have proven difficult to substantiate. Keeping him detained any longer is unwarranted and unjust. Oligbo also drew attention to the dire economic situation in the country, stating that millions of Nigerians are facing untold hardships due to inflation and a dwindling economy. He argued that this is the wrong time for political gamesmanship, especially when it involves a matter as sensitive as Nnamdi Kanu's welfare and the unity of the nation. Amidst the current economic hardship, this is not the right time to play politics with people's life. The government must demonstrate leadership by taking decisive action that prioritizes national unity and progress. Releasing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a step towards healing and reconciliation, Oligbo concluded. Imagine a cold evening in Abuja where the light from the Nigerian Air Force conference and suit glowed softly, adding a sense of solemnity to the air. It was a night set aside to honor a man who had left a mark on his people, Senator Ifeanyi Uba. The room was filled with dignitaries, former presidents, senators, business moguls, and community leaders, all gathered to pay their respects. But what stood out that evening wasn't just the tribute to Ifeanyi Uba, it was a heartfelt plea made by Rochas Okorocha, a man whose words carries the weight of the Igbo people longing for peace and unity. Rochas Okorocha, the former governor of Imo State and now a senator, took the stage with a calm but firm demeanor. As he began to speak, the room fell silent. His message wasn't just about Ifeanyi Uba, it was about something larger, something that has been weighing heavily on the hearts of the Igbo people for years. It was about Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra (IPOB), who has been in detention since June 2021. Rochas Okorocha wasn't speaking as a politician that night. He was speaking as an Igbo man, a father and a leader who understood the pain of his people. My dear brother, Senate President Godswill Akpabio, he began, addressing one of the most powerful men in the room. The best way to honor the memory of our great sons and daughters, including Ifeanyi Ubah, is by releasing Nnamdi Kanu. Now let's pause for a moment. Why is Nnamdi Kanu's release such a big deal? To understand this, you need to step into the shoes of the average Igbo person. For many, Nnamdi Kanu is more than just a man or a leader. He represents the struggle of the Igbo people. Years of feeling sidelined, misunderstood, and marginalized in a country they helped to build. His detention isn't just about him, it is about what he symbolizes. Back in the hall, Rochas Okorocha's words carried on, heavy with meaning. He reminded the audience of the great Igbo leaders of the past, names like Odumegwu Ojukwu and Alex Ekwueme, men who had their differences but ultimately wanted the best for their people. Imagine them now, Okorocha said, his voice steady but reflective. Ojukwu, Ekwueme, and even our dear Emmanuel Iwanyanwu sitting together in the great beyond. They must be looking down on us and wondering what has become of Ndi Igbo. The crowd murmured in agreement. These were not just empty words, they were a call to action. These leaders, Okorocha continued, would want us to stop fighting among ourselves, to embrace peace, and to put our people first. He wasn't done. He turned his attention back to the living. I want to say this to all of us here, especially the Senate presidents. The Igbos need unity, and unity begins with justice. Releasing Nnamdi Kanu is not just a favor, it is a step towards healing the wounds in the southeast. As his speech made its way beyond the walls of the conference center, it sparked a wave of reactions. One notable response came from Pascal Okechukwu, better known as Cubana Chief Priest, a businessman and socialite who has a knack for speaking his mind. On Instagram, Cubana Chief Priest shared a clip of Rochas Okorocha's speech, adding his voice to the growing call for Nnamdi Kanu's release. We just want peace, he wrote. It has been almost 5 years and we still can't go back to our hometowns. Only Nnamdi Kanu's release can restore peace to our region. His post struck a chord with many as he highlighted the instability and fear that have gripped the southeast since Nnamdi Kanu's detention. Cubana Chief Priest wasn't alone. Across social media, many Igbos echoed his sentiments. The southeast, once a thriving hub of culture and commerce, has been struggling. The sit-at-home orders, protests, and clashes have made life difficult for ordinary people. Businesses have suffered, families have been torn apart, and a sense of fear has replaced the vibrant energy the region was known for. Chief Ike Oligbo, a former governorship aspirant in Anambra State, also weighed in. Speaking to journalists in Oka, he didn't mince words. The southeast feels abandoned, he said. Keeping Nnamdi Kanu in detention only deepens the bitterness and anger among our youth. Oligbo wasn't just pointing fingers, he was offering solutions. The federal government needs to rise above intimidation and fear. Justice demands fairness. If the charges against Nnamdi Kanu cannot be proven, why is he still in detention? His argument was practical. This is not a time for political games. Nigeria is facing serious economic challenges. Releasing Nnamdi Kanu is a step towards rebuilding trust and unity. But let's go back to the heart of the matter. Why is Nnamdi Kanu's release so important? Especially for many Igbos, Christmas is a time of homecoming. It is a time to reconnect with family, to celebrate, and to find comfort in the warmth of their hometown. But for the past few years, many have been unable to return home. The unrest and insecurity have turned what should be a season of joy into a time of uncertainty. For Rochas Okorocha, Cubana chief priest, Oligbo, and countless others, releasing Nnamdi Kanu isn't just about politics. It is about restoring hope. It is about giving the Southeast a chance to heal, to rebuild, and to move forward. As the days pass and Christmas draws nearer, the calls for Nnamdi Kanu's release grows louder. The calls for Nnamdi Kanu's release grow louder. Rochas Okorocha's words from that night in Abuja continue to resonate. We must learn from the past, he said. Our leaders fought, disagreed, and reconciled. It is time for us to do the same. The big question now is whether the government will listen. Will they choose the path of unity and release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or will they allow the division to deepen the wounds? For now, the story is still unfolding, but one thing is clear. The Southeast is longing for peace, and for many, that peace begins with Nnamdi Kanu's release. As Rochas Okorocha said that night, let's honor the memory of our great leaders by choosing unity over division, peace over conflict, and justice over fear. This is not just a story about one man. It is a story about a people, their struggles, and their hope for a better future. And as we wait for what comes next, we can only hope that those in power will hear the cries of the people and choose the path of healing. I will play the video for you guys to watch and see for yourself.
As we round up this night of tribute, let it be known to all men that life is an inexplicable pattern of mystery, where no man knows when he was born and when he will die. And this notorious fact is deeply rooted in the fact that every man is created by God with his works, and the talent are the guides. For no man can grow above or beyond his destiny. For every man's destiny has a relationship with God. So let it be with Ifeanyi. Let it be with the Nnewi-born politician. Let it be with our brother. Let it be with the great philanthropist, the great leader, the motivator. Let it be the lover of mankind and citizen of humanity. May his soul rest in peace. And to you, the Ubas, madam, and your lovely children particularly, I have not died before, and I don't intend to die soon. But let me say something, that I do know that the Ikemba Ojukus, the Kwemes, and these great leaders of note who have left us, since the spirit never dies, I'm sure, they are having meetings somewhere. And I can only imagine what kind of meeting is saying. And their meeting is Ndibo. And Ndibo, hear me, what is the likely thing these leaders are discussing now, including the youngest of them all, Ifeanyi. The question they're asking, Igbos, why do you play the politics of hate? Why do you hate one another? Ojukwu recalled his quarrels with Ekweme, and now they say it is vanity. Iwanyu recalled his quarrels with Enwerem, now they are in one place. And so, they are asking Igbos, may you embrace peace. Another thing that happened that is common with these great men is that before the death of Iwanyanwu made a plea to Federal Republic of Nigeria. Ezife went to Villa and begged Nigerian nation. Ifeanyi made a statement in the same line. I want to say to you, my brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Senate President, convey this one message on behalf of these Igbos who are seated, that the best way to honor this great young man is the release of Nnamdi Kanu. So that the Igbos can go home and reorganize their place. And I know you, Senator Akpabio, that even if you don't want to do it, send this message. For the sake of your wife, who is our daughter, send this message and get us a result. Or else, your wife is not too far from taking back home. Your Excellency, Mr. President, we are particularly happy that you are always coming to associate yourself with things like this. Nigeria still remains very grateful. Thank you, and God bless all of you. My people, my people.
This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.